Welcome to Dreamed It, Then Real Lifed It, the podcast where we dive deep into the journey from vision to reality. I'm Kelly Jackson, your guide on this path of self-discovery, transformation, and intentional living. Here, we explore everything from mindset shifts and personal growth to spiritual alignment and entrepreneurship, sharing insights, stories, and actionable wisdom to help you live a life in harmony with your dreams. Every episode will dig into what it means to not only dream big, but to actually consciously create the life you envision. Let's turn your dreams into real life. Before we begin, let's land for a moment. You showed up today because part of you is turning toward truth, expansion, and alignment. Sunday Spark is my weekly email created for the ones who are ready to live life in full ownership, to build in rhythm and grow from a place of ease. Each letter includes insights, activation prompts, and practical tools woven through my holistic trifecta, which is optimal health, positive relationships, and wealth building. And the best part? It's only 45 to 90 seconds to read. It's a quick spark, a gentle activation, something you can carry into your week. If you want that kind of moment in your inbox every Sunday, you're invited. Sunday Spark is there. It's ready when you are. The link to join is in the show notes. Welcome back to Dreamed It Then Real Lifed It. This is episode 69, and today we are talking about something that I think people overlook because it doesn't look flashy, and it doesn't look like a highlight reel, and it doesn't look like the big before and after moment. But it's the real evidence, and it's the thing that tells me the work is working. This episode is called The Proof is in the Peace When Your Body Finally Believes You. And if you have been doing the inner work, if you have been building the habits, if you have been telling yourself you're changing, then I want you to hear me clearly. You don't need a dramatic breakthrough to know it's happening, okay? Sometimes the proof is quiet, and sometimes it's boring. And sometimes it looks like a Tuesday where nothing falls apart. So today I'm going to give you a new way to measure growth, not by how much you have accomplished, but by how safe you feel inside of yourself while you are living your life. Okay? Peace is a receipt. It is proof of purchase. And you paid for that peace with boundaries, with self-respect, with walking away from patterns that kept you stuck. You paid for it with showing up for yourself on days when nobody was clapping, and you paid for it with telling the truth, even when it cost you comfort. Peace is not random. Peace is earned, and peace is evidence. The old version of me lived in urgency, okay? Everything felt like it had to be solved right now. I mentioned this before, even when as a business owner, back then, before my intentional journey of self, my mom would say something to me regularly. She would say, other people's emergencies or other people's lack of preparation do not constitute an emergency on my part. And I 100% lived with that mindset, like everything was urgent, everything had to happen, even other people's things happening for other people, I allowed to become my emergency. Do you understand what I'm saying? If a plan changed, I felt my body tighten. If something didn't work out, I felt my brain would like start sprinting. I would immediately jump into this fixing mode and proving mode and overthinking mode. And I didn't even realize it was a survival pattern. I thought it was like me being responsible. Okay. And now I can see it clearly. And that wasn't responsibility, guys. That was fear driving the car. Okay. So, yes, I get it. If you're living in urgency, been there, done that. I can totally relate to that. Okay. Here's the thing about peace. It's not passive. Peace is actually powerful. Okay. Peace isn't you giving up, and it's actually you being anchored. It's you having enough inner stability to let things unfold without spiraling. And it's you not needing to control everything to feel okay. Peace is not the absence of movement. It is movement without panic. Because if you think about peace and panic are almost on opposite ends of the spectrum, right? If you're panicking, you are not feeling peaceful. And if you are feeling peaceful, you're not panicking. Okay? So again, peace isn't the absence of movement. It is being able to move through your life, whatever, through a situation, through a relationship, without panicking. And the other thing, proof isn't in the outcome. It is in the way that you handle the process. So anybody can feel good when everything is going their way. But the work becomes visible when something doesn't go your way. And then you don't collapse, okay? You don't betray yourself. You don't go back to old coping mechanisms. The proof is in your response, how you are going to respond to that situation. And that's definitely, yeah, that's proof. You know, I really don't use the word busy when describing my life anymore. And part of that's probably because you've probably heard me say this a million times. I used to wear busy like a badge of honor. And I think because of that and the hustle and grind culture and all that I really was a part of, I now, when I hear the word busy, I just have this really, I don't love it. I don't love the word busy because I remember the way I used to, what busy used to mean to me. Nowadays, yes, my life is busy, but my body isn't bracing, meaning, and again, you will rarely, if ever, hear me say that I'm busy. I will choose another word, right? But I do have a million moving parts in my life. I'm creating, I'm building, I'm recording, I'm making decisions, I'm showing up, I'm a mom, all the things. But the difference is I'm not doing it from that clenched jaw and that tight chest and these racing thoughts energy, okay? I'm doing it from clarity. And that shift right there, that is the evidence. You don't have to, and you don't need to feel ready to be safe. People think that peace comes after they get their life together. That's not the case, though. Peace comes when you stop making safety conditional. Safety comes when you stop telling your body you can relax once everything is perfect. And that reminds me of this mantra that I love. That's ego says, when everything falls into place, I'll feel peace. And spirit says, when I feel peace, everything will fall into place. Okay, peace is a decision that you practice. It's not a prize that you win. And you can choose peace. It's a practice, right? You got to choose it over and over again. I want to talk about the body too, because your body tells the truth faster than your mind does. And your mind will debate you. Your mind will bargain. Your mind will make excuses. But your body knows, okay? And when your body finally believes you, it changes how you move through the day. You stop waking up already behind. You stop living like the world is chasing you. And you stop acting like one mistake is going to ruin everything. And you start living like you can handle your life. And this is what I mean when I say that the proof is in the peace, because your body becomes the first place that you can see the change. Like, my shoulders tell on me, for example, okay? I can tell what season I'm in by where I am holding tension. If my shoulders are like up to my ears, I'm not in peace. And if my jaw is clenched, I'm not in peace. And if my stomach feels tight all day, I'm not in peace, okay? My body doesn't lie. It reports the truth, which is why it's important to be tuned into your body and to not override your body. Okay, there's something I want to tell you. I haven't mentioned this yet, but I'm going to mention it now. So the white space changed my nervous system. The white space, I haven't mentioned that to y'all yet. This is something I just added last year. This is an expansion for me of my business, and it is a new location, not open to the public, but this is a private location for me. It is a separate building. It is a separate space where I have separated distribution and circulation for my business from my art studio. I was doing all of this from the same space. And in a season of growth and expansion, I realized I needed a new container for this next chapter of my business, and it made the most sense for me to acquire a second location separate from my art studio that would be the new home, the new container for inventory, for shipping, for circulation, for distribution, for all of that. This is not a creative studio where I am making art. This is where it lives, not just to be stored, but to be circulated, to be moved out into the world, okay? I call it the white space. The white space has changed my nervous system. I am not exaggerating, okay? Having a space that is mine, that is calm, intentional, safe. It is like my body can finally exhale. It is a sanctuary that I control, okay? And when you have a place where you're not bracing, guys, it's like your whole life starts to soften, okay? This is something I've been thinking about it for a while, and it's something I finally took action on in 2025. And now that I have that space, I realize what the intuitive nudge was to get this space and to take this leap and to do this next thing, okay? Because peace is not just a mindset. Sometimes it's an environment. And that's definitely been the case with the white space. Another thing, I'm giving y'all some personal examples here to hopefully this will help it land, but I don't need to earn rest anymore. Okay. I used to treat rest like a reward and something like I had to prove I deserved it. And it was something that I rarely allowed myself to have. I've told y'all before, I used to have the mantra, I will sleep when I'm dead. Now, mind you, sleeping is not the only form of rest. Okay. But I'm just saying that is how anti rest I used to be. I had it in my head that nope, I don't get to rest. And it was really, yeah, like I was really like that. And that is the fastest way to stay exhausted forever. Okay. Now I understand that rest is a part of the system, it is a part of the rhythm. Rest is not a luxury. Okay. Rest is 100% hands down a requirement. Not just for me, for you too. So you do not have to earn rest. I want you to hear that. You do not have to earn rest. You are a human. You deserve to rest. Honor your body, listen, and rest when you need to rest. And guys, I know for me, my body knows when I'm about to abandon myself. Like it happens in the smallest ways. I will say, whoop, sorry, that was a little microphone issue. I hit it. I will say yes when I mean to say no. And I will overcommit and I will try to be everything to everyone. I'm sure some of you are out there going, yep, that's me. I see you. And, my body will start buzzing and I'll get irritated. I'll get tired. I'll start feeling disconnected. And guys, that's not random. That is my body asking me to come back. And you may have these experiences too. And that's why it's so important to be tapped into your body so that you can recognize these cues and that you can pivot and adjust and calibrate and come back into alignment. And remember, you can't abandon yourself like that, okay? Embodiment, y'all know this is season 2. We're in the embodiment era. And embodiment is a physical experience. It is not just a concept. It is how you breathe. It's how you walk into a room. It is how you sit in silence. Okay? It's how you respond when someone disappoints you. It's embodiment shows up in your posture. It shows up in your pace. It is a full-on human experience of how you're existing, how you're showing up. Okay? And you can't think your way into embodiment. You live your way into embodiment. And we are in the embodiment era. So you are being invited to live your way into embodiment, okay? And again, embodiment as a physical experience. Part of embodying peace is understanding that peace happens when you stop flinching. Some of us are flinching our way through life and we are waiting for the next thing to go wrong. We're waiting for the shoe to drop, right? And we're waiting for the next rejection and we're waiting for the next problem. Guys, if that's you, okay, I'm holding up the mirror so that you can see. And I want you to hear this. Peace is when you stop expecting impact. You can't be at peace when you are always clenched up, always bracing, always waiting for something to go wrong. That's not peace. Okay? Peace is realizing in your body, it's your body realizing that you're not in danger anymore and you can relax. Okay? So let's talk about what peace looks like in real life, IRL. Peace is not always candles and quiet music and all of the little, I'm having spa vibes in my mind's eye. Okay. Yeah, that's peaceful. Definitely. I could go for a little massage right now. Okay. But peace is more than that. Okay. Peace is practical. Peace is visible. Peace shows up in how you move through your normal life. And it looks like fewer spirals, and it looks like making decisions without turning it into this whole emotional event, which I've been known to do in the past. And it looks like recovering faster. And it looks like not needing to explain yourself. And it looks like being able to be alone without feeling lonely. Something I feel like I've mastered, being on this solitude journey for as long as I have. So again, if this is something that you are also experiencing, I see you. And look, we're all doing this work together. So I want to name it. I want us to make peace tangible so that you can recognize it in your own life. Okay. And I'm going to give you some examples of what I mean by that. So I do not rush my mornings like I used to. Okay. Even when I have a lot going on, I am not waking up in panic. I am not grabbing my phone and immediately consuming other people's energy. I used to do that. It was like wake up, grab the phone, instantly on social media or checking email or looking at whatever text messages came through. And before I was even checking in with myself, okay, I am much more intentional now. I set the tone. And one of my hard rules is you got to check in with the world inside of you before you check in with the world outside of you. In other words, before I pick that phone up and see what other people's demands, questions, ideas, theories, actions, whatever, before I see any of that, their requests, their needs, any of it, I am going to have that time in the morning checking in with myself, checking in with how am I feeling? Have I expressed gratitude? Have I done some positive affirmations? Have I spent some time in silence, like a meditation? Have I moved my body? I mean, I wake up, I like to do stretching first thing. Sometimes that's in the bed. Sometimes that's in front of my little fireplace in my room. Regardless, all of these things, this is my practice before I'm picking up my phone. And this is, I have to get right with my own energy before I consume other people's energy. That's just a hard rule for me. And peace really is starting your day from yourself. Another thing, I realize that I can be seen without shrinking. You know, I used to get shy around attention and even at things that I'm proud of. Like, I'll give you an example. When I was a full-time professional hand lettering artist and had thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of pieces of artwork that all done by hand, and I would post them on social media, and of thousands of individual pieces of artwork, there were maybe 3 pictures of myself that I ever posted. I 100% used to hide behind my art, and I would shrink myself. I did not want to be seen. This was before the intentional journey of self, but I mean, 100% get shy. And again, it's not because I wasn't proud, but because feeling seen used to feel really unsafe. And peace is when visibility stops feeling like danger. And I know these days, I understand people want to see the artist. They want to see the person behind the art. And so through intention and practice, like we talked about earlier, I've been able to show my face and to allow myself to be seen without shrinking. Guys, it doesn't happen automatically. If you're someone who's also struggled with this, I see you. And it's not like your destiny. You're not like stuck like that forever. It's something that you can practice and get better at and allow to get to a point where the peace, again, where visibility no longer feels like danger and you're able to feel peace even when you're being seen. You realize you're safe to be perceived and you're at peace with that. Another thing, I don't take everything personally. And that used to be my default, okay? If somebody didn't respond, I'd assume something. If it didn't work out, like something didn't work out, I would internalize it. And now I have more space. I let people be people and I let situations be situations. And I realize that my peace now comes from not making every single thing mean something about me. And so for you, again, peace is not making everything mean something about you. If you're constantly overthinking and internalizing and feeling like everything that's happening, everything that's being said, every situation is somehow about you, you're not going to feel peace. You're going to be guarded and you're going to be bracing and you're going to be on standby and you're going to be vigilant. And you don't understand what I'm saying? So you really have to stop taking everything personally. My decisions are faster. So I don't spend like 2 weeks debating what I already know. I don't keep reopening doors that I already know are closed. And I would say I'm more direct with myself and like I listen the first time, okay? Peace is trusting your first knowing. And that's something that was, I definitely had to get there, okay? Because it was not always like this. And also, I would say that I stop when I'm done. I don't keep pushing just because I'm afraid to slow down. I don't punish myself with endless work. I know when enough is enough. And I also realize now that sometimes you got to slow down to speed up. And I used to be allergic to the idea of slowing down. I was like, what? Slow down? No. Go, 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 go. Faster, faster, harder, harder. Go, 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 go. And it doesn't have to be like that. Peace is honoring yourself without guilt and honoring your limits without guilt and not trying to prove anything and just endlessly pushing through and working harder and going faster and all the things. And speaking of faster, I recover faster. Okay. So life still happens. 100%. Life still happens. Okay. Things still disappoint me. I still have feelings. I am human. But I don't stay down as long. And I don't spiral for days. And I come back to center. And guys, even some things that are a real doozy, sometimes I even surprise myself by how quickly I'm able to come back to center. And again, this has been a practice, and then it becomes like a second nature. And peace is not never falling apart, okay? Because these things are going to fall apart. It's life. It's coming back faster, though. And it's not allowing that when life comes and shakes you up, it's not allowing it to just break you into a million pieces where you just feel like it's going to be like this forever. No, you're able to recognize, assess, recalibrate, come back to center, align, and then keep going, okay? There's something else I want to talk about. So I want to talk about why your life can look the same but feel completely different. So sometimes people get frustrated because they're doing the work and then they're like, okay, but my life hasn't changed yet. And I get it. Oh my gosh, I get it. I really do, because we want results. We want proof. We want to know that all this hard work that we're putting in counts for something. And this is what you got to hear about that. The first proof is internal, okay? Your life can look the same on paper, in the mirror, whatever, while your internal experience is completely different, okay? That's the beginning of the shift. That's when the work starts working. So if you are waiting for this big external change, I want you to check the internal change first, okay? So like, I'm going to give you some examples of that. Your calendar is full, but you're not drowning, okay? So like, for me, that's been the case. So my calendar is full, but I'm not drowning. I am still creating. I'm still building. I'm still showing up. But I'm not drowning in it. I'm not in that frantic energy, okay? I'm moving with rhythm and flow. Guys, peace isn't having less to do. Peace is in how you do it. And for me, I'm not proving myself anymore. Like, I am not proving myself anymore. I used to feel like I had to justify everything. Like I needed permission to be who I am, an artist, designer, coach, podcast host, mom, all of it. Okay? Now I'm not auditioning. I am living it. This is the embodiment era. Peace is when you stop needing approval to exist. And you simply, for me, embrace, I'm a multi-passionate, multi-dimensional, multi-disciplinary human. And I don't have to choose one thing. And I let go of the guilt of being all the things. And then I stopped needing approval to exist as all the things. And then, guess what? I felt peace. And kind of like, I kind of alluded to this earlier, but I want to mention it again because I don't chase urgency, okay? Some people are addicted to urgency and they don't know who they are without the chaos, okay? And I used to live there. And that's what my nervous system was used to. And now I can feel it when my system tries to go back, and then I choose differently. And for me, I know peace has been breaking up with adrenaline. That was a relationship that wasn't meant to last. Because they can't coexist in my body. And so I choose peace. And speaking of my body, guys, my body is my compass, okay? I do not just make decisions based on logic. I absolutely make decisions based on what creates safety and what creates alignment and what creates flow. And so peace is choosing what supports you and not what drains you. And for me, I know that I can hold my own emotions, and that's a big one, not needing someone else to regulate me, okay, and not needing someone else to fix it, and really and truly being able to sit with myself and stay present. I believe that is another layer to peace, is emotional maturity. Yeah, that's a big piece of it. And I'm also not waiting for the perfect moment because, look, I'm in a recording studio right now. I am building this in real time. I am not waiting until I have it all figured out. Guys, you know, I hopped into this recording studio 1 year ago without knowing what I was doing. And I'm like, I'm right, I'm going to figure it out on the way. And I'm still learning. I'm absolutely still learning. And I'm not waiting until I have it all figured out. And I'm okay with the fact that, I have very public documentation of my learning process. This is an archive. This podcast is an archive, and you can go back and listen to any of these episodes, and and hopefully over the years, you'll be able to hear an improvement in the flow of the show and in my ability to speak confidently and all the things and guide you through each episode. But the thing is I didn't wait until I had it all figured out, and I still don't. I'm still learning. And peace is just trusting your timing while you move. And the reason I feel peace about what I'm showing up here doing is I'm doing it from my heart. I'm not waiting for the perfect moment. I'm showing up and taking inspired action and allowing it to unfold naturally with my intention behind it, of course. And so, okay, all we've been talking about, all these ways that for any of us, that we can have more peace in our life, that things we can look out for, times in my life when I know I didn't feel peace. And I want to talk a little bit more about that, about the cost of living without peace, because let's be real, guys, living without peace does cost you. And it costs you your energy. It costs you your clarity. It costs you your health. That was a big one for me. It costs you your creativity. And a lot of people don't realize how much they're paying because it's become normal. And the constant tension, the constant overthinking, the constant bracing, that becomes your baseline. And then you start thinking that, oh, well, this is just adulthood. It's not. Guys, that's survival. And you can change it. So overthinking is not intelligence. It's fear. It's trying to control outcomes. It's trying to avoid pain, and it's exhausting. So peace is when your mind stops running laps. Sometimes it's referred to monkey mind. Y'all ever heard that? Not peace. Peace is not referred to as monkey mind, but when we're trying to silence that monkey mind. And another thing, now this is definitely something that I've experienced, guys. Oh, this is something I've had to work through. Hypervigilance. And, we each might deal with different things for different reasons based on our own life experiences and whatnot. For me, this was a big one, and being in a state of hypervigilance, and that steals your joy. If you are always scanning for what goes wrong, then you're going to miss what is going right. And you miss the moment, and you miss the beauty. And so peace gives you your life back. And that feels really, really good. Because you cannot create from panic. You can produce, you can grind, you can force, but real creativity, guys, it comes from safety and it comes from openness. And peace really becomes the birthplace of art. And the whole thing is, like, your body is going to keep the score. Stress is going to show up. It's going to show up in your sleep, in your digestion, in your inflammation. You get puffy, inflamed, all that stuff. It's going to show up in fatigue. It's going to show up in your mood. I mean, 100% your body keeps the score. And it's going to speak to you. And here's the thing about peace. It is like a preventative medicine. If you are in a steady state of peace, you're going to notice measurable improvements in your in your body, in the way it feels, in the way it moves, your mental, your physical, emotional, all the things. Your spiritual body, all the things. So peace is a preventative medicine. It's so important for optimal health. Because the truth is that people normalize exhaustion. I mean, especially in today's culture, especially, again, y'all know I'm recording this from North America, so the Western culture, and people normalize being exhausted. I mean, they laugh about it, they brag about it, they bond over it. And meanwhile, their body is like begging them to slow down. And guys, I'm saying all this because I was one of those people. It was like, that was me. And my body was begging me to slow down. And here's the thing that you've got to hear if that's you or someone you love and you recognize that. Guys, peace is not laziness. Peace is wisdom. Allow yourself to be at peace. You do not have to hit rock bottom, and you don't have to have a breakdown to start choosing peace. I mean, you can choose it right now. Peace is available today, right here, right now, in this moment. You can choose peace. And peace is built too. It's constructed, it's created, it's practiced. It's not something that you just have to stumble into one day because it finally cooperates. No, I'm telling you, you have the choice right now to build it, to construct it, to create it, to practice it. And peace is going to be what happens when you start living like you matter, because you do. And when you start honoring your energy, and when you stop betraying yourself, and when you stop living for other people's expectations, okay? This is the part where we get practical, because peace has steps. So I want you to keep one promise to yourself. One, not 10, one. Something small enough that you can actually do it. Oh, your body learns trust through follow through. So if you keep one promise to yourself for now, just choose one. Peace is built through integrity, okay? What is something you can choose that you can follow through? And then I want you to say no faster. We already talked about this earlier. Stop giving yourself a week to decide what you already know. Stop negotiating with your own intuition. Peace is speed, baby. Peace is speed. And the other thing, this is a non-negotiable. Protect your mornings. Guys, you have to protect your mornings. Do not start your day in other people's energy. Don't start your day in reaction mode. It is killing you slowly. All right, you have got to, and when I say killing, it could be killing your momentum, your mood, your energy, your whatever. Okay, you've got to start your day with yourself. You have to start your day with yourself. You have to check in with yourself before you check in with the world around you. Peace is a boundary around your mind. And then I want you to choose environments that calm your system, because your space matters, and your home matters, and your studio matters. Just like the white space matters for me, okay? The energy that you live inside of matters. And peace is physical, just like all of our spaces. So I want you to stop reopening closed doors. Let me say that louder so the people in the back can hear. Guys, there's one thing that probably popped into your mind as soon as I said it. That's the thing I'm talking about. You got to stop reopening closed doors. If someone or something already showed you what it is, believe it. And then stop going back for another lesson. I got to be a little stern on you here for this section, because I know some of y'all are going out there open and closed doors, and you want to know why I know it? Because your girl used to do it. You got to let it be and realize that peace is final, okay? You do not need to reopen that closed door. Now, one last thing I think I want to say here would be to let your nervous system catch up, okay? You can decide you're safe. You can totally commit to, okay, I'm going to be in this practice of peace. However, your body might still feel tense for a while. And that's okay, guys. You keep showing up consistently. Peace is repetition. Eventually, you will feel that peace. That will be the dominant emotion that you're feeling, okay? The dominant frequency that you're vibrating on. So you just got to remember that peace is repetition. And that embodiment is the new baseline, okay? Because embodiment is when the work becomes your baseline. If you listen to last week's episode, that was all about embodiment, and that's when the work becomes visible. So that was episode 68. You can check that out. But look, embodiment is when the work becomes your baseline, and it's when you do not have to hype yourself up to be who you are, okay? You simply are. You just are. You don't have to hype yourself up to be that. You just are that. And it's when your choices start matching your values automatically. And when you don't have to convince yourself to show up, it's when you stop needing that external motivation because your internal leadership is online, okay? That's why peace is such strong proof, because peace tells you, hey, you've become someone new. You are not the same version of yourself that you were back then. This is something new. Now I can trust myself. Not because I'm perfect, but because I return, I repair, I don't abandon myself for long. That is peace as self-trust, okay? And it's when you're saying, well, I don't need chaos to feel alive anymore. Because some people do confuse chaos with passion and chaos with purpose. I don't. I mean, I want devotion. I want depth. I do not want chaos, period. And so where are you when it comes to that? Do you get excited about chaos? Does chaos light you up? Or are you being like, nope, peace is real aliveness. I don't need that drama and that chaos to make me feel alive. I realize that peace is when I truly feel alive. And are you moving with rhythm? Weekly rhythm, monthly rhythm, seasonal rhythm. I know for me, my creativity needs it. My nervous system needs it. Okay? Peace is flow. So I love that mantra. I move with rhythm. Guys, another thing this came to mind. I am not afraid of quiet. Okay? I think I referenced this in the beginning of the episode and I want to come back to it. So quiet used to feel like something was wrong, like I was missing something. Like, what's happening? Crickets? I'm going to go into panic mode if I hear crickets. But guess what? Now, quiet feels like home because I realize peace is truly comfort in silence and not panic. And because of that, my body feels like mine. I'm not living in my head all the time. I'm not living in dissociation. I am present. And so peace is presence. And finally, and I want this for you too, I'm not waiting for permission. I am building the life. I am making the art. I am doing the work, okay? I am becoming someone who is embodied in all that I say, do, teach, etc. And so peace is ownership. So if you need a sign, or if you needed a sign that you are changing, guys, this is it. Look for the quiet proof. Look for the peace. Look for the moments when you would have spiraled and you didn't. Look for the moment that you chose rest without guilt. Look for the moment that you told the truth. Look for the moment that you didn't chase. Look for the moment that you stayed anchored. Okay, and if your body is starting to believe you, keep going, because your life is listening and the proof is in the peace. Peace is your new standard. You don't have to earn it anymore. You live from it. You protect it. Peace is your baseline. And if your future self feels like relief, not pressure, not hustle, but relief, it's because you realize that peace is the destination and the path, okay? You are allowed to feel good now. You do not have to wait for the perfect life to feel safe. Peace is available right now. You're not behind. You are building something real. And guys, real takes rhythm, not rush. Peace is proof that you are right on time, right on divine time. And you're going to keep showing your body the truth. You're going to keep proving to yourself that you're safe with you. Peace is trust in motion. Guys, if this episode hit, send it to somebody who's tired of surviving. And if you are in your embodiment era, welcome. Okay, this is where the work becomes visible. I really appreciate you tuning in. And I've got some links down in the show notes if you are interested in going further with me with this work. I've got all kinds of opportunities, from coaching to in-person experiences to something new that rolled out in 2026 called the Monthly Art Letter. I would love for y'all to check it out. If you like receiving mail in your mailbox and you want it to be personally touched and handled and created by yours truly, check out the link in the bio. I will see y'all next week. Thanks for tuning in. Bye-bye. Thank you for tuning in to Dreamed It, Then Real Lifed It. I hope today's episode sparked something powerful within you. Remember, every step you take towards your vision counts, no matter how small. If you enjoyed today's conversation, please take a second to hit that subscribe button or leave a review. That would be amazing. Or share the podcast with someone who's ready to bring their dreams into reality too. And if you're looking to dive deeper, connect with me on social media at Dreamed It, Then Real Lifed It, or at BE_what you want. Or visit dreameditthenreallifedit.us for more resources on aligning your life, business, and dreams. Until next time, keep dreaming and keep manifesting your dreams into real life. Love you, friends.